What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Taylor Hinton Speaks His Mind, the number one online health and fitness podcast in the world. And today is day two of our forever and always support calls with our clients, where I just pop on. I'm available for an hour in the mornings, and I'll let my clients jump in, ask their questions, and get as much value and answers as they possibly can. So, you guys know how it works. You jump into these calls, you are here and I'm here to help serve you. So, first off, Jasmine, why don't you go ahead and unmute, share a win, and then ask a question? Let me know how I can help you.
My win would be that I got 36 minutes more of sleep today than
Hey,
I have
that's
been. So
important.
I'm
So you
getting closer to the 6 hour mark.
good? You watched the review I gave you?
Yeah, I did. I was like, I'm trying.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
hear you.
but I'm trying to think of a good question. I guess like how to manage maybe my time. I don't know, like how can I manage my time better because my days are always so different
Hmm.
and I'm still trying to work on that. I'm still trying to get my spouse on board because he likes to stay up till midnight some days and then he wakes me up when he comes to bed. He doesn't exactly kind of help with the kids, so to speak, at night. So it's just kind of that. And if I work late, makes it worse.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So are you ready to get into that then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what is your normal schedule? I guess you don't really have like a normal schedule. What do you typically expect is like the time you normally start work and end work?
I start work minimum 10 a.m. depending on what day it is, and I can go up until 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night.
Okay, so it could be like a 12-hour day pretty much.
Yeah.
And just for everyone's like reference to, like we're talking specifically about Jasmine getting her sleep schedule in check. I just did her review last night and she's coming back here um wanting to get some help with figuring that out. So and that's like 5 days a week. Do you work weekends as well?
I work 7 days a week. Basically, my schedule is whenever I book clients, whenever they need it, and is when I book them.
Gotcha. And so could you realistically have like a weekend day that's basically a 12-hour day as well?
Yeah, sometimes. Saturdays not usually, but Sundays are definitely a 12-hour day.
Do you have, yeah, that makes sense. Do you have like a average, like is there one day of the week where you can rely on it being a little bit slower?
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays are would be like the slower day if there is one.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you generally pretty busy? You're generally working like 10, 12 hour days?
Not always. It depends. Like it just depends on how busy it is. January is usually my slow month, but and so that was kind of okay, but then February kind of gets busier, then March usually gets busier, but March I am not accepting afternoon appointments for the month just because of family stuff going on.
Okay.
So that'll be fine there. I think that'll help my sleep improve, but it's just any other month I just kind of basically I squeeze people in whenever they want in or when I can get them in. But I also think I should try maybe to, as much as I want to make the money, I also should give myself some time.
Yeah. So what is your scheduling process like?
Basically, I am open unless I'm not. I schedule around my kids' activities, anything I need to do in terms of appointments, etc., stuff like that. But I have a dog I walk 3 times a day, 4 days a week, and then my grooming clients I either squeeze in between or it's basically some of my clients book ahead of time, and then some of them just message me a week before or 2 weeks before and ask me to get in.
How do you book your clients? Like what is the logistical process of
I look at my calendar and I see what space I have. I give them whatever days I have available and whatever times I have available, and then just kind of get them in, or
is it all met like are they texting you? How do they get a hold of you?
they text or they Facebook message or they call.
Do you have like a place where your clients meet? Like how do you keep track of your clients?
I have a calendar on my phone and I also do a hard copy as well, like with just pen and paper, because I tried doing the square thing and that just kept getting jumbled and more people were booking than I could take on at the time. So
Sure,
the
but
pen and paper and my calendar on my phone is kind of where I feel more comfortable.
it's always the same clients, right?
Mostly, but once I start get referrals or I just get random people that want to pop in, certain appointments don't take as long obviously, but it just kind of depends. Like some people book when they want to book and
How many
kind
appointments
of,
do you have a
yeah.
week or a day?
uh
A day,
I do 2 to 4 a day.
2 to 4 a day. And it's
not including my dog that I walk.
how often are they like same day appointments?
Not often.
They're mostly like how far in
Most
advance?
of them are usually a week in advance. Some people do kind of squeeze in like the day before, 2 days before if I have the
Sure.
space.
Sure. But it's so each day you know in a week in advance what your schedule looks like.
For the most part, yeah, unless somebody messages me last minute and said, "Can I get in a couple of days?" And if I have the space, then I feel bad and I let them in.
Yeah, of course. And so if these I'm just trying to think of like how you keep your clients organized. Like I know you got them in your calendar, you write them
Yeah,
down and you got them in your digital calendar. But like do you have like with this program, I've got Everfit where I have all my clients housed. Like do you have a housing thing or
I have
some
like
type
a
of
filing
digital?
system
Okay,
and
you have a
stuff like
filing
that.
system. Okay,
Yeah.
is that like a manual one?
Yeah, it's just a physical one, like paper. I have like a little cabinet thing and I have all the clients that I have in there, all their notes, for whatever their dog gets kind of thing for their appointments.
Okay, so if we have like 2 to 4 on average a day, why do you have to have them so late at night? Like why sometimes at like eight
Because
thirty?
of picking up my kids and stuff. So it depends on the appointment. So if it's a dog for a haircut, then I have, sometimes it takes 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes it could take 4 hours depending on the dog's coat type, how the dog is that day. I also have to like take into consideration picking my kids up and dropping them off to school. Um,
Right.
and then I also walk the one dog during the day, 4 days a week. So it kind of limits, I only have so much time in between that dog that I can take in another client. So I'm kind of just like, I'm nonstop, go, go, go for the most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, I wasn't considering that each client can take like up to 3 hours. Is that like your average time for a client or is that a long one?
It depends. Like if it's just a dog for a bath and nails, it's usually maybe an hour. But if it's nails, then it's not more than like 10, 15 minutes depending. And it also too depends on how the dog is during the appointment too, right?
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
if
they're
you
very
have a
easy, sometimes they
difficult
suck.
dog, yeah, then it can take longer.
Okay. Okay, I got you. What's the repercussion if you were to close your calendar after 7 p.m.?
Um, I mean, it might be okay actually. It depends. It probably would be okay. Like a lot of my clients I find they work during the week, so and a lot of them are busy on weekends, so it's hard for them to get in during the day. So that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons why I started opening my calendar at night. I wasn't originally doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just found that a lot of my clients were either going somewhere else just because I wasn't open late enough.
What is
And it
your
was kind of helping them out.
okay, so there are some clients who are going to other groomers because of your hours.
Yeah.
So
So
staying
that's
up.
why I extended them.
Okay, I got you. What time are you waking up?
3 o'clock.
If you're waking up at 3 o'clock, if you went to bed at 7, that'd be 7 to 8 is 1 hour.
Yep.
9 is 2. That's what 10. Yeah,
That
11,
would be
12,
8 hours now.
1, 2, 3. If you went to bed, if you fell asleep at 7 p.m., that means
Yeah.
like you're brushing your teeth at 6:30 and you're going to bed. And oftentimes you're taking clients at 8:30 sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it depends. Usually that's only on weekends. I usually come home, eat my breakfast, get my kids' stuff ready for school, get everything taken care of, and then wake them up, do whatever I got to do with my dogs, and then I take them to school, and then from there I just kind of go.
What about weekends? What time do you normally wake up on the weekend?
Usually the same time. I try to sleep in a little bit. I try not to schedule clients until after 9 o'clock on weekends.
Okay. So you still are waking up oftentimes at 3 a.m. on the weekend?
Yeah, because like now I'm in a routine, so I try to let myself sleep in. But because I wake up so like Monday to Friday at that time, sometimes it's hard to not stay sleeping, but sometimes it's easy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then if I have time during the week, I know when I'm really tired is when I fall like when I get tired and I need a nap during the week.
Yeah, like in the day sometimes.
Yeah, like if I have time, then I might take a half an hour nap if I have time in between clients.
Yeah, so this is definitely a big sticking point then. So
Yeah,
I think that you need to close your evenings.
yeah. That would probably be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, I mean that's the number one thing because like we could dive into kids and
Yeah.
household chores and how much your husband can help and all that stuff, but none of that matters if you're still working at 8:30 at night anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And
Like
by
you
the
need to
time I'm
be
finished, it's 9 o'clock, sometimes 10 o'clock by the time I get my kids all in bed and then I have time for myself.
yeah. I would say like at the latest, you need to be like lights out, shut eye, 8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
That's what really needs to happen. Let's
Okay.
imagine like for a second your schedule accommodates that. Voila, you can actually get to bed at 8:30.
That would be
Um,
nice.
then now what are the other problems that could come up? Like, are your kids gonna be bugging you and like what
Probably my kids more than anything, I think. I think eventually people, either clients will stay and they'll work within my hours or they don't. But I think it would be the kids because it depends. Like my spouse, sometimes he works late, sometimes he doesn't. And then when he comes home, it's all video games and pretty much I don't see him until supper. Or I don't see him till like unless he's helping me. Sometimes he helps me with my grooming of my dogs if I'm working late because I trained him to help me.
Mhm.
um, but usually it's just me and the kids for from the time like they're home till bedtime.
What time does he get home?
Depends if he doesn't have meetings because he has this little Freemasons thing he's doing. Usually he's home by 5:30, sometimes 6. And then from there it's just kind of like he does what he wants until he wants to help.
5:36, and then okay, I got you.
And then he
Okay.
stays up till like 11, 12 o'clock some nights.
What time does he get up?
6 o'clock,
Why,
6:30.
why do you get up at 3?
So I can go to the gym and get all my stuff done before him so I don't have to so I've actually time to and space at the gym too because whenever I go during the day, I kind of feel like I have to rush my workout and I don't want to do that.
Well, like, what if you got up at 5 and you went to the gym at 6?
He has to leave by 6:30, like 7. He has to leave in between there.
How old are the
So
kids?
sometimes he's rushing to go. So I mean, I could probably go for 4, but what I've been doing is I get up and then I go do my workout and then I go for a walk on the treadmill to get like at least my 6,000 steps. That way, the rest of the day is kind of a breeze.
How old are your kids?
4 and 12.
Okay, so 4 years old. It's too young to be at
And my
home.
12-year-old, she's a shifty character, so I
Okay.
can't leave her alone.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, teenagers, right?
Yeah, no,
Teenage
she's sneaky.
girls are the worst.
Yeah, especially.
Yeah, that's what I always hear. Okay. So yeah, so they need supervision still.
Yeah.
And okay, so he leaves at 6:30ish.
Between 6:37 and then sometimes if he has time, he'll let the dogs out and stuff before he goes, but usually I get stuck doing that too.
Okay. I feel like there's definitely an opportunity for a conversation with your husband for some more help
Yeah.
if he's playing video games and he's not walking the dogs and stuff like that. He's got his work and he's got his stresses and stuff like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
So do you. So there's like you guys got to share that load, in my
Yep.
opinion. So I'll leave that with you. Let me know how that
Yep.
goes if you feel like it.
Oh, for sure.
And then yeah, so then kids 8:30 at school.
Yeah, I have to have them there by 8:30 and I usually give myself a good chunk of time with them because some days it's really easy to get them going and then other days it's a big fight.
Right. So you can't just like get home at 7:30 and then like rush them to school like you
Yeah,
got.
no, it's that's not possible. My husband would be gone before then and then they would probably be fighting those two and it's a bit of a mess
How long
sometimes.
is how long is your workout?
Usually 45 minutes ish, sometimes longer, depending. If I sometimes I've gapped out in between and I forget to hit that I did a set.
Sure. What
But
about
usually it's about 45 minutes, 50 minutes ish.
and then the walk after that, or is
And then
that
the walk after that, yeah.
okay? Um, and he leaves at 6:30. So if you can get home by 6:30, does that work, or do you need to be
Yeah,
home
that could
before
probably
that?
work. I mean, I could do that.
So what time? So then, is there anything else that I'm missing? You're getting up at 3, and then you
Yep.
go work out, and he has to leave by 6:30. Like, what is there? Can you not just wake up a little bit later and still get
I
everything done?
probably could. I just like going when no one's bothering me because by the time I even get home, sometimes my son will wake up and then he'll like when my husband wakes up and then it's just like everybody starts waking up and then it's sometimes they sleep in and sometimes they don't.
Yeah. So
So
when you
every
go
day is
really early
different.
in the morning, then it gives you plenty of time to get home and have like
Oh yeah.
half an hour a piece or something before the day starts.
Pretty much I have time to go over my schedule, look at my stuff, kind of do what I want to do and nobody kind
Yeah,
of needing anything. That's the only reason why I like getting up
yeah,
that
I
early. I
see.
know I could do it a little bit later, but
And then and then eight. 8:30 you take the kids to school, and then
I
after
have
that
to
it's
leave at
work.
like, yeah, I have to leave around like 8:20, some like give or take, and then I get
Right.
them to school by 8:30, and then
Okay.
it
And
depends
then
on how my son is that day too, because he's in kindergarten. So
yeah.
then some days he wants to go, and then other days it's like pulling him off my leg.
Hmm. And then as soon as the kids are in school, if they go to school, then it's working.
Pretty much
And that's
straight to work.
dog
Yeah.
walking and that is grooming and whatever.
Yeah, basically whatever I have scheduled for that day.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that you need to look at cutting your time off at
Yeah.
7, your availability. And you might want to look, this might be like really, I don't know if this would make it easier or harder with scheduling, but
Hmm.
you may want to look at Calendly. Have you heard of Calendly before?
Not that one. No.
It's a calendar scheduling app. I used
Okay.
to use it before using AR Funnel, which is what I send the link to you guys to book one-to-one calls with me and stuff. But
Yeah.
that's like that program has like a ton of other bells and whistles that are more specific to fitness coaching.
Right.
Calendly is a very simple, just a calendar booking app. So
Okay.
you put in your availability and then you just send that link to your clients and they can book in times on their own. And they could even
Okay.
like book in recurring times too. So you could have like those people who are always really consistent. You could just
Yeah.
have them scheduled in advance
Ahead
on
of
that
time.
thing. And the nice thing about that is that you can set up a couple automations. So they put their phone number and email in, and then you don't have to remind them. It'll send them email and text message reminders. They could cancel it through the app there if they want or whatever too.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
it might be something, it doesn't mean you have to stop doing your filing in your manual calendar, but
Yeah.
it also does connect to your Gmail app so you can see, what's going on with your calendar right there too. So
Okay.
yeah, that might help. And then yeah, you can block off those times after 7:30 as well.
Well, that works perfect.
Yeah, yeah, definitely take a look at that. Let me know what you think of that.
Yep.
Have that conversation with the hubby and figure out what you guys can do to collaborate better together at home.
Okay.
Because your
Thank
sleep
you.
is going to be super important, okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Raven, no, Chelsea was in here next. I know Raven put something in the chat that she had a suggestion. Raven, do you want to pop on and give your suggestion real quick?
No. Yeah, you can come back to me for my question after Chelsea. But yeah, for Jasmine, so I work in dental, and when I worked in office, a big thing of like new people coming in, the thing was you don't let the patients run the schedule, you run the schedule. So you're not like just saying, no, we can't book you here or there. Like, say they had a whole morning open, you don't want to book them smack dab in the middle, and then you can't really book around that. You're like, you tell them, oh, I have this time or I have this time. Instead of the patient's like, I want to come in at this time. Okay, well, I don't have that available, but I do have this or that. To where you're not like just denying them, but you're also giving them other options, if that makes sense.
It does. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
that was it.
love it. Thanks, Raven. Chelsea, welcome. Unmute, share a win.
I am mostly just here because I'm like driving to work and I just wanted to listen. I win. I got a workout done on Sunday, which is great, and I have my stuff ready to do my workout today. So looking forward to trying out the new workouts you set up. And I don't have a
Amazing.
question. I'm just hanging out.
Well, well, well. You, Miss Croms, are about to learn. You're about to get schooled, all right? Because all I know
I
how
have to
these
come with
goes.
a question?
You have to come with a question. You cannot
Oh, good
just
gracious.
be a fly on the wall. You must contribute to this community. So, balls in your court, lady. What's the question?
Okay, well, I guess then I will ask about my food stuff. So, I was up until Christmas, I was eating salads every lunch,
Mhm.
and then I was having the issues with my stomach where I was in pain. And over Christmas break, I just cut out the salads, and then I went like 3 weeks into the school year. Like the first 3 weeks, I was just eating brown rice and chicken and some broccoli or carrots for lunch. And then last week I was like, okay, I'd like to like build the salad back in, made a salad. Usually my salads have like spinach. I decided to do a mix of spinach and butter lettuce because the internet told me butter lettuce is like less harsh. But I like greens that have some substance. Like head lettuce is like nothing. So that, and then I generally have like cucumbers and tomatoes and other things. Anyway, again, my body was destroyed. So, and by that I mean I have a lot of stomach pain when I eat things. When I like after I was having the salad, so I feel like I've identified that the salads are causing some like I don't know they move through my body in such a way that they're causing me pain. So I'm back to eating rice and chicken like this week, and I've now added tofu because tofu is less expensive because I don't know if you remember, but that was one of my things. How do I eat this much protein? And chicken's expensive. So I'm adding tofu to the bowl as well for my lunches. But what I find is because the base is like rice instead of the base being greens, there's more calories in that. And so I just feel like part of what's happening is with trying to figure out what I can eat to hit my macros and not have my stomach be in pain is that I think I'm eating a bit higher in calories. Like I don't know if at night I'm hitting my macros because I'm not tracking my dinners. So I guess my question is, do I try to go back to tracking my dinners, which was quite burdensome because like I eat what my family makes, and a lot of times that means I'm building a new recipe like every night in MFP to try and track my food, or is there another way that I can figure this out? Because I've noticed like kind of a plateau in my weight. Like yes, last week I lost weight again, but then this week I was back up to 182 when I was checking the scale because I'm like super amped up on wanting to hit this 180 goal. And like I feel like this is the first time where it feels like I might hit the end of the month and not actually make my goal. Whereas like all the other times where I've had a weight-based goal, it's been like super attainable. Like I've hit it before I even got to the time frame where I wanted to hit it. So I guess my question is, how do I figure that out? Because it feels like I've plateaued and I feel like I'm struggling food-wise.
Okay, cool. That's a great question. Let's get into it. So your goal is 180. First off, okay, you hit 182 when?
Well, last week I was 181.4, and then I went back up this week to 182 when I stepped on the scale, even though I wasn't supposed to step on the scale.
When did you step on the scale?
Yesterday.
Okay. And it was 182.0?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was yesterday. So here's the first thing I'll say for you and everybody else too. You're allowed to jump on the scale as many times as you want. Like if you want to, it has to be at least weekly when your tasks come in, but if you want to do it more frequently, that's cool. I have no issue with that. In a perfect world, everybody weighed themselves every single day. The more data I have, the better, information that I have. So there's nothing wrong with that. The only reason why I don't tell you that you have to is because like some people get really in their head about the scale and stuff and they don't want to look at it, and that's totally fine. So I just need a weekly weigh in. But you can weigh yourself as much as you want. And I would say if you do weigh yourself, then you must put it inside EverFit. I want to see it. So I just went ahead and put that in there for us right now. Yeah, that you're at 182.
Where do I put that if I do it and it's outside of the task time?
So you can always update your metrics on the You page without the prompt that pops up on the Today page.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you can just go in there anytime. That's where you can like leave a comment where you can screenshot your steps and put that in your check-in form. Yeah, you can update your weight, your measurements. Like if you were ever doing that stuff more frequently, you can totally do that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, why are you concerned right now about needing to make a change with your food?
Because I really want to hit that 180 mark by the end of February.
Why won't you hit the 180 mark by the end of February?
I feel like I've plateaued. Like I feel like I haven't been losing weight in the like consistency that I was like prior to Christmas when I felt like I was doing better at tracking. That's part of the reason that I brought up that like going back to the like 1,629 calorie mark, because I just felt like I was like, okay, lower calorie mark, lower protein. I was able to hit it, and maybe like my mindset was just better around it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm like giving myself permission. That's the part that I struggle with a lot is like, am I giving myself permission? Like last night I had the Froyo bar, like that was fine. But the night before I ate one of my Lindt chocolates and I didn't track that because I like, when I don't track my dinner, I'm like, well, should I track this one Lindt chocolate I'm eating after dinner? I don't know. I get all in my brain about it.
Yeah, I hear you. So, are you okay with me sharing my screen with your weight on the screen?
No, yeah, I have no problems with that.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna pull this
Just
up.
keeping,
Hmm?
yeah.
Yeah,
So you just do you, yeah.
it's just gonna be the weight in like measurements that we'll see. We're not gonna see your photos. We're not gonna see your data or anything like that. Is that cool?
Yeah, that sounds fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because totally up to you. Okay, so here we go. You guys can see my screen now. Cool. I've got everything up there. Good. And Jasmine's popping back in. So here's where we're at over the last 4 weeks. But if I change this, it's now, let's go 3 months. Let's take a look at the last 3 months. Even the last 2 months. Like this particularly is like the area that I wanted to focus on. Let's go to the last 2 months. There we go. And this little spike right here is just the one that I added today. 181 to 182. 181.4, half a pound. So December 29th to February 9th. That's 6.2 pounds. And this has happened December 11th. What is that? December 29. December 29. How many days is that? How many days between December 29 and Feb 10? Come on, Google AI. 43 days. And we do 43 divided by 7 for how many weeks? 6 weeks, we'll call it. 6 weeks, 6.8 pounds. What was that? 6.8? 182. 6 pounds. 6 pounds in 6 weeks, Chelsea. That's what you've lost. You lost 6 pounds in 6 weeks. Harneet, get your ass
Okay.
on this Zoom call.
So like you can see there, this is Christmas break where as a teacher, like I'm off. You can see right, December 24th, like December 16th, like so I gained weight while I took a let's call it a rest from like program in the sense of like I didn't track a lot of what I ate over the Christmas break, and so I gained that weight, and then I lost it again. So I guess my brain is in a place where it's like if I cut off that little mountain,
Yeah.
then it feels more like a plateau, and so that's I guess that's my concern.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a valid point. Okay, I'm gonna unshare my screen here.
So I do believe that things are working, and I do but I'm like I guess I'm just trying to think about whether or not I'm doing enough, or if I need to be more uh, persistent, like get back and into the like tracking the dinners and things like that to just make sure I'm working the program to the best of my ability, without hopefully like draining. Because the thing is, like I just get to the point where I'm like drained and then I'm like falling off. And so for me, it's always that balance of like, I want this to be sustainable long term. I want to be able to do it like forever. But what does that balance look like? So still trying to figure that out.
So I'm just taking a look at your food. I'm just gonna talk you guys all through like what my mindset is as a coach when I have this concern and what I'm looking at. So first thing I'm going to is I'm going to your MyFitnessPal logs. Well, I'm going to your macros first because when I go to your macros, I can see, what you're eating, what you're tracking. Right now, Chelsea has her breakfast and lunch tracked up. Is that breakfast and lunch? What is that 393 every day that you have tracked? That's your lunch? No,
Yeah, that's my lunch for this week.
that's your lunch for the rest of the week. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so she's got her lunch tracked up for the rest of the entire week. No breakfast yet because that'll change a little bit. And her dinner, we don't track right now. This is our policy. So for after I take a look at that, I'm like, all right, cool. She's really planning ahead with everything that she's doing. I gotta probably open up the Zoom for Harneet, who's waiting. There she is. Good. I take a look at how you're tracking and what you're eating. You've got 394 calories, 39 grams of protein. You made the 10x rule. That's awesome. I love to see that. And it looks like you're doing that on a consistent basis. For today, you have 48 grams of protein, 447 calories. So you did great with that part too. And it's the same lunch every other day otherwise. Protein powder, remind me. You had some issues with it, right?
Can you hear me?
I hear you way better now.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I had switched from my car Bluetooth to my actual phone because I parked. Anyway, I thought that I had issues with it, but then I figured out that the salads were actually the issue. So I haven't tried adding the protein powder back into my coffee in the morning. I just started this morning with having an egg because I'm trying to slowly build back things in and just see how it is for me in my morning because I found like the carb of having a piece of bread with peanut butter on it was working well for me, but obviously the peanut butter is like much higher calorie. And so I this morning I had an egg. I was going to do eggs for the rest of this week. And then next week, if I'm still feeling good and my tummy feels okay, I was going to add the protein powder back into my coffee because I like my protein powder. And other than that, like having it in a smoothie, mixing it with yogurt, like haven't had an issue.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, keep up with that process. That was going to be the next thing is, hey, can we add some more protein in your diet somewhere? So if you're doing this experimental thing of figuring out the eggs and then the protein next week, totally cool. I love it. Um, then so now we've got, 1200-ish calories left over for the rest of the day, and that's going to be your dinner, and that's going to be some type of snack at the end of the night. Can you pre-track a snack? Because you like having your snack at the end of the day, right?
I do.
Okay. Why don't you pre-track a snack before dinner time?
Okay.
I mean, whether it's going to be froyo or a frozen yogurt bar or something that you said there, a lint, whatever. Let's throw that in snacks at the beginning of the day. And now we are operating on a tighter window with dinner. Not because we want to feel constrained, but because it just gives us a clearer picture of what we should be eating and how much volume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we know,
Okay.
now we
I can
know,
definitely
okay.
do that.
Now we're accounting for some more carbs and fats at the end of the day with your snack. You're getting a little more protein earlier in the day that's going to take up a few more calories. And then ideally, you probably find yourself in a scenario where your remaining calories are around 500, 600 calories by the end of the day. And that's going to be like the
And
dinner.
generally, yeah,
Yeah.
what I've found is like if I have that much, it doesn't really matter what they're making for dinner. Like that's enough calories that as long as I'm watching how many, I'm keeping low on mayo or ketchup or whatever. If I'm not having a lot of the sauce,
Mhm.
I'm focused on having mostly the protein, like and keeping an eye on if like the veggies were cooked in oil and things like that. Generally, that's enough calories that
Mhm.
I'm keeping within my budget. And I have been watching those things.
Yeah. So that's great. So that's great. So I think that you have a good process right now with all of that. The next thing I'm looking at is your steps. Now I know steps aren't your favorite form of personal like time, but you're getting over 10,000 steps a day on average, which looks pretty good. So if we're concerned that maybe the scale might not be moving the way that we want, we have two options that we can go with that are going to be like the two reliable things that we can do. One, we can increase steps. That would be option number one. That would be my preferred option if I were you. I find that one, it's going to give us more energy throughout the day. It helps keep the metabolism burning nice and hot. We don't have to adjust calories and be more hungry. But this is a total preferential thing. The fastest, easiest thing is, sorry, I'm burping here with my water. The easiest thing is to cut back on the calories somewhere. Well, you're not really eating much for breakfast at all, so we can't really cut back there. And the only other thing I would say is like you could just simply cut out rice for lunch. That's
Okay.
if you just cut out rice for lunch and you added a bit more vegetables if you want or whatever. Focus on the protein, and then for dinner, then you just have your same kind of process that you're doing with dinner. I think you'll be in a much better position there. Ultimately, what we're going for, Chelsea, is throughout the day, particularly like breakfast and lunch, we want to have a little bit of hunger. Like we want to feel a little bit of a pit in our stomach. And maybe before dinner, you're like, I'm really hungry. And then you have the same normal size dinner that you always do. The one that has enough protein in it, that fills you up, you're satiated, but you're not stuffed. We're never trying to get to stuffed. Now you
hmm
have your breakfast, your lunch, and your snacks tracked. you're cutting out some of the calories. Maybe you're increasing your step count a little bit if you're figuring out how to hack that into your day a little bit better too. And then you're keeping dinner
Okay.
about the same. And if you're able to do that, then you're probably going to see some pretty cool, consistent drops on the scale.
All right.
When
Thank you.
does mountain biking season start?
Well, I mean, with the way the weather's going, I've already been out, so yeah.
Yeah. So there's some more calories you're burning right there, just staying active. That'll
Hmm.
be a huge help as well. That'll be a huge help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that
Thank
help?
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
No worries. Thanks so much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Raven, share a win, ask a question.
Uh, win is even though I've felt funky, I've attempted and mostly kept up with my steps, which I had been struggling with for the past several weeks.
Okay.
So that's a win.
Nice.
My question is, so I know like your muscles need time to recover, to heal and growth and like overtraining. It's not like I'm training 7 days a week.
Hmm.
But if I do like I only have 3 workouts a week, and then I try to get like an extra one in when I can.
Hmm.
If I'm doing like back to back like days, like should I have a day in between for that muscle recovery? Or if I work out Tuesday and then I work out Wednesday, like is that okay?
Are they the same muscles?
Um, Not all the time, but there have been times where I've done like leg days back to back. Or
Gotcha.
should I try to? Because I do 1 upper body and 2 lower body each week.
One upper body, two lower body. Well, I mean, there you go. That's simple. Just stack the upper and lower body days together back to back if you have to.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't do the two lower body days at back to back.
Okay. So have space in between those.
Yeah, at least a day um between the two lower body days. Ideally, you get like 2 days between the two lower body days.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with going upper then lower back to back or lower than upper. Like that's the next step for you if you decide to go to 4 days a week with workouts. Your workouts will likely be upper lower rest, or lower upper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've read like like when you're building the muscles, there's the tears and then needs to have time to repair. And if you're overtraining, it doesn't have time to repair and grow. So
Hmm.
I was
Yeah,
just like,
that is true. That technically is true. In practice, it would be very hard to do that. Like overtraining is a very, very hard thing to do. There's like some muscles recover much faster than others. So like biceps, triceps, forearms, calves, typically like those smaller muscle groups, they will recover typically a lot faster than bigger muscle groups because there's less of a systematic overload on the whole body when using those muscles. Like doing a calf raise is just your one ankle joint doing this. Like there's not a whole lot of systematic fatigue happening. But when you're doing a
mhm,
back squat, then it's like really heavy weight. Your whole body is getting fatigued together. Um, so those will typically take a little bit longer because it's not just the muscle, it's the central nervous system that's really taking a huge load. So yeah, you can my point is that like even if you were training the same, like if you were training quads back to back, I wouldn't recommend it. You definitely would want to avoid that on a consistent basis, but it's definitely doable, especially if you're doing different movement patterns and the overall intensity and volume isn't that high. So let's say if you were doing here, let's use this as an example. If you have, and I imagine that your program probably has something like this, where one of the lower body days is more quad focused and the other one is more glute focused, or hamstring focused. Um, if one of them, like the quad focus day, was squats and leg extensions, and then the glute focus day had lunges in it, and you did those back to back, it's not the end of the world, but you do want to avoid doing that because the quad is still getting worked, but it's getting worked in a different movement pattern. And because the first leg day was only 2 exercises, this is just in theory, right? It was just
mhm.
2 exercises, then the likelihood that you're going to be overtraining your quads by hitting them the next day is pretty low. It's almost just like you're doing like the whole thing at one time.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm not even close to like overtraining. I was just like wanting to make sure I'm doing what I can to make this as successful as I can, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you want to maximize your opportunity. You want to
Yes.
optimize everything that you're doing. So yeah, I definitely don't do the two leg days back to back, but by all means there's absolutely nothing wrong with going upper body, lower body and then rest.
Okay. So if I do know I have to do 2 days kind of back to back, make sure it's upper and lower and different. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Sounds phenomenal. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, Harneet got scared it looks like and ran away. But we got Chelsea and Raven here still, so if either of you come up with other questions, just go ahead and unmute and let me know. I'm gonna take a look at the chat, see if there's anything in here. Jasmine used to be a fly, no more lady. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, what was I think I was telling Chelsea, I was like, "What's your question, lady?" or something like that. I didn't know, just a heads up, everybody. Apparently, that's like, I don't know if that's a derogatory or offensive term to call a female a lady. Maybe it's the tone of voice sometimes. I like to be sarcastic. I hope that it doesn't get taken the wrong way. Point is I use the term lady when speaking to friends, and I say it in kind of a sarcastic way. So I don't know. Maybe it comes across. I don't think that anybody that I say it to gets offended by it, but part of the way that I say it is like a bit of a southern tone to it. Not accent, but like southern tone, if that makes sense. I don't know. Come on, lady. I don't know. Anyways, take after my dad a lot of ways, thinking that is funny. In my house, it is funny. So I don't know. People think different things are funny. People got really offended by my post about doctors and stuff. I didn't really get into specifics in the video, but people got really upset that I don't want to share with the receptionist the purpose behind my doctor's visit. She's like, "What do you want to see him for?" I was like, "My personal health, dog. Come on, lady. Come on, Pat. Come on, lady. Come on, Pat. Put me in there. Put me in the freaking appointment slot." She's like, "I got to give a notice to your doctor." And so, of course, people were like, "They need to tell your doctor what the appointment's for." I'm like, "That's cool. It's not my problem, you know? I'm not responsible for that." A lot of people were saying, "Hey, it's like your insurance that needs to know, insurance this, insurance that." And I'm like, I just left the Canada flag as a reply. I'm like, we don't have to deal with that for basic doctor's appointments, you know? Some people were like, "It's there to make your time more efficient. You know, what if you need to have XYZ procedures and follow ups and all these things?" Like, then I'll have to have those procedures and follow ups. I'm not giving her my information, like, plain and simple. So if that causes more time or a secondary appointment or whatever, I'm willing to bear the consequences of that. That's something I'm willing to take on.
Question.
Raven.
So in regards to that post, I saw that. And like I understand as front desk, like we want to give the doctor a heads up of, hey, how long might this appointment or procedure take? I know
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to say like you don't even want to say like a generic, like, hey, I've had an injury that's not healing right. I just need to look at it. Or because you know they have access to your chart. So even afterwards they can go and look and see what you were there for, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never thought of that. No. A
Yeah.
million people said it in the comments, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah. Well, like it's like, is it something that needs to be looked at and possibly treated that day, or is it something that's going to take time? Like
Mm.
working in dental, which I know is different than medical, it's like, okay, what also lets the assistant kind of know what they need to potentially maybe set up for
Yeah, yeah,
ahead of time to where they can book their schedule accordingly of is this going to be a 30-minute thing or is it going to be an hour and a half thing, you know?
yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I
So,
know that my So I posted this on like a Facebook status a long time ago, or a story maybe on Instagram at some point.
Mm.
And um everyone everyone who replied to the story or whatever, they were like, it's because they need to know how much time it's going to take. And so this timer, I was like, okay, cool. If it's just how much time it's going to take, then I'll tell her how much time it's going to take. And of course, I know obviously I can't be the decision maker behind how much time it's going to take. I'm not the professional. I get that. But in this case, I do know how long it's going to take. It's something that I've gone in there before. Very simple process. It's probably a 5 minute conversation with a little medication, whatever. It's going to be pretty straightforward. But um, she was like, when I told her, I was like, it'll be like 15 minutes. She was like, what do you want to see your doctor for? And I said, it'll be about 10, 15 minutes at most. And she was like, no, what do you want to see your doctor for? So maybe it is just a timing thing and she needs to know or whatever, or she wants to know. At the end of the day, I'm not responsible. Like it's all like for the logistical and pragmatic benefit of the office, which would be nice. I can appreciate that, but it's also not my problem.
Mm.
Like I
Yeah.
it's for me, it's a principle thing. I'm not going to tell her. And yeah, she gets to see my file or whatever. What kind of details she gets to see on my file, I don't know. If it's a full thing, then it's a full thing, I guess. I don't know. But just purely out of principle for me, I'm like, I'm going to talk to my doctor about my problems.
That makes sense. I mean, even if it's like something they've seen you for before, be like, hey, it's what I saw him for back in October, or, you know, same
Yeah.
issue or whatever. Just more
Yeah.
generic, because they
Yeah.
do. I don't know if the Canadian healthcare system's different or whatnot, but here, like, if you work in the office, you basically have access to everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, even though I was an assistant, but then I was front desk, I still had access to everything that the
Mhm.
doctor could look at.
Yeah.
So, but I
Fair
don't know if
enough.
it's different there, but no, yeah.
I have no
And then
idea.
your whole discipline thing went off
Yeah.
the
People,
comments.
people love the spanking conversation too. I get it. It's a heated conversation. Chelsea, you have something to share?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know I thought of another question. Um, I was wondering, like, when you saw the email that I sent with all the equipment and stuff, were you like, yeah, long term she can keep working out here, or were you like, at some point the limited amount of equipment will be a hindrance to her being able to keep doing workouts and keep making progress?
It'd be nice if you had heavier dumbbells, but it's really not the end of the world. It's just a matter of like, okay, well, we won't be able to do like really heavy Romanian deadlifts, but you have the Smith machine. The simple answer to your question is no, it's not going to limit your ability to get to 160, um, get into the best shape of your life. Like, it's just going to limit some of the creativity that we have. But that doesn't mean that you can't still get into incredible shape. And part of the onus is on me too to like get creative with making light weights feel heavy by incorporating more agility slash balancing slash coordination type things. So yeah, we have everything that we need to get you in the best shape of your life.
Okay, sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I was just curious. And like at the end of the day, because I mean, I'm gonna work here probably for a very long time. If you were like, oh, maybe we could invest, I don't know how much dumbbells like cost. I could try and like beef up like what's here with my own stuff, just store it where the kids can access it. But
Mm.
yeah, I'm happy to hear that you think like the equipment that's here will keep working for me. I guess I was slightly concerned. I was like, oh, okay, but can I keep my workouts, between that 30 to 40 minute amount of time and still get the progress that I need? Because if we had to keep increasing reps because the weights aren't heavy enough, I was like, that's going to become somewhat like hard to do too, because of just like needing to pick up my kids and things and like when I do my
Yeah.
workouts.
Yeah, yeah, no, I hear you. No, I think we're okay. I think when we get to the point where like we need to have heavier dumbbells, that's when we switch over to doing more of the Smith machine and the machines that you have. Because I have a feeling you're probably far away from maxing out those machines, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nowhere near maxing out those machines.
Yeah, so we have a lot of opportunity to get stronger in different areas. And that's the basis for our goals is let's get strong, let's lose some weight. And in the process, like especially as you get closer to your races, your endurance is going to be really important. So obviously like getting in some runs and doing your mountain biking and all that kind of stuff is going to be really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thank you.
Is that a high school?
Yeah, it's a high school.
They definitely
I
need
am
to
here
upgrade
right
you
now.
guys.
They're all asking me, what am I doing? As I walk laps in the halls and talk to you on my phone.
That's awesome. I love it. They need to have heavier dumbbells for high schoolers for sure.
I think it's a liability thing. They're worried about them using them incorrectly because they give them access to the weight room place, which is like on the stage at lunch, which isn't
Okay.
it's not like the PE teachers are there, but they're not like monitoring them at lunch. So I think that's a little bit of a concern.
That's interesting because I went to Mowat in Abbotsford, and I think the weights there went up to like 80 or 90 pounds or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Might also be a budgeting thing. It's a small school. I don't know.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah, which school is it? You don't have to share. Actually, it's fine. Um,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm like, oh.
yeah, no, it's
But
yeah. Some of that stuff can be private. It's better to be private with, so that's cool. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
cool. Thank you.
But thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah. So we've got a few more minutes here. I'm gonna hang out, and now that the two of you have had your obligatory questions asked and answered, you're welcome to hang out as well. I'm working right now on a new transformation post, a little compilation transformation post with a few of my clients here. All their cool frickin' transformations that we've made together. So I'm not looking at Zoom, by the way. So if there's somebody who has a question, you just frickin' unmute. I wish Jess Coster took better photos. She's got different angles up here. So looks great though. Damn. Pretty freaking sweet.
I gotta run. Have a great day.
Thanks, Raven. Nice to see you.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Ugh.